make some biscuits with you guys today. Because I follow a gluten-free diet, I have celiac disease, so I have to eat gluten-free. It's definitely not on purpose. Good awesome afternoon to you too. Thank you. So we're gonna be baking gluten-free biscuits, and I have a flour and everything. And oh, thank you so much. So yeah, I looked up a recipe on Google and I found some gluten-free biscuits. They're not too complicated, so we're gonna make them together. And for anybody who wants this recipe, feel free to direct message me on social media after, and I will happily send you the link if you want to make yourselves. Hello, thanks for joining. Hi. Thanks for coming. We're making biscuits. We are gonna make gluten-free biscuits today. I promise they won't be bricks. I do not do bricks. Bricks are only used for houses, to make a brick house. Get it? Okay, bad jokes. Okay, so first thing, it says to preheat the oven to 450. So I'm going to do that. Preheating to 450 now. Okay. I preheated the oven to 450. I feel like I should put on some music because there's like a plane going by and everything, but like there's not much. Can you bring Alexa over? We're gonna bring over Alexa and have some music in the background. Maybe like classical music, since YouTube has been so specific. Hi, thank you for joining. We are making biscuits, gluten-free biscuits. I preheated the oven to 450. Okay, large bowl. This is my large bowl. You recognize the famous bowl from last time? Same bowl, exactly. So it says I'm going to combine all the dry things in this bowl. So I'm going to go back. So the dry things are 2 cups of gluten-free all-purpose flour, which is what I have right here. Hi, Lee. Thanks for joining. How are you guys doing? How's your day going? Good? You know, I haven't had biscuits in like years because, you know, I can't eat gluten, but also like they're not that great for you. So, there's no biscuit emoji. Oh man, come on. They gotta update that. Thank you. Oh, thanks. Well, the computer will be fine, but yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Hey Alexa, can you play some classical music?
Got it. Here's a station you might like. Ultimate Classical on Amazon Music.
I just feel like classical is the safest bet for YouTube. We are both live on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, and Periscope. So, welcome. Okay, two cups of the all-purpose flour. 2 cups. Es la español, right? Dos. How do you say cups in Spanish? I don't know. Does anybody know how to say cups in Spanish? 2 cups. 2 cups in French. I don't know much French. My mom taught me how to count to 5. Hey, thanks for joining, Mary. We're making gluten-free biscuits today. That's the best you can do. I accept the chocolate chip cookies. You can't go wrong with chocolate cookies. So this is 1 cup. And don't worry, I already washed my hands before the video, so we are all clean. So what you want to do is you want to level out your cup when it comes to dry ingredients. You want to make sure it's as level as possible. I learned that in high school home ec. Hi, thanks for joining. From Florida. Oh, your favorite. Thank you for joining. Okay, so that's 1 cup down. Una más cup. 1 more cup. You're watching on 2 platforms? That's amazing. Thank you for joining on 2 platforms. It really means a lot. Hi, thanks for joining. We're making gluten-free biscuits, and I promise they won't be bricks. We don't do brick recipes here unless you're building a house. Okay, so every time I hear classical music, it just reminds me of when I would go to ballet school. I studied ballet for a long time. And I would love to go back to it, but, you know, do the best I can in my bedroom, right? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Diva War, from joining from Instagram and Twitch. I feel so special. Okay, so we have our flour here. Now it says to add xanthan gum if your flour doesn't have xanthan gum. This has xanthan gum in it. Basically, xanthan gum is something that kind of holds it together. It's kind of the gluten that is missing from the gluten-free flour. So we're not going to add that, or then it really will be like a brick. And then next, 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Okay, let me get that out. Okay. So I got my baking powder here. Baking powder is a little different from baking soda. Baking powder kind of like helps it rise a little bit. I think baking soda kind of makes it softer and risen. If that's the difference. I'm not a huge... You've made biscuits too. That's amazing. Yeah, the first time I made biscuits was in high school, and they got me hooked. But honestly, Popeyes got me hooked back when I didn't know I couldn't eat gluten. So, okay, a whole tablespoon of baking powder. Let's do this, guys. The oven has already been preheated. So it's also super important to measure out and level out your ingredients as well so they're completely flat. Especially with baking powder, or oh my god, you're gonna have such a mess on your hands. Hi, Kristen, thanks for joining. We're making biscuits today. Gluten-free biscuits. Like I said, if anybody wants this recipe after, I didn't make up the recipe. I literally just Googled it. So I can happily send it to you if you wanna make them on your own time after. Oh, Espanol. Okay. Oh, vaso is cup in Espanol. Oh, thank you. Gracias. Muchas gracias, Marissa. Yes, exactly. I have to risk it to make it. You're supposed to be asleep. Okay, I'll try to be quiet. Is this quiet enough? I'm just kidding. Whispering is actually really bad for your voice, so I'm not going to whisper. Okay, so I added that. Now 1 teaspoon of salt. Got my little spoons here. Half a teaspoon, 1 teaspoon of salt. Okay. Let's hope I don't pour the whole salt bottle into the bowl. I almost did. Just pour that over the sink. Get some of that out of there. I don't really want my biscuits to be too salty, if you know what I mean. Just a little too salty. Thanks for joining, guys. Hi, Paul. Hi, guys. Hi, Jason. We're making gluten-free biscuits. We're having a good time while I burn down my kitchen. I'm just kidding. We're not going to burn it down. I think the apartments are fireproof anyway, so it would probably last to mine, and that's about it. Okay, salt. And then, wait, it wants me to add sugar. I'm just going to check on that. Oh, it really does want me to add sugar. Okay, so we're going to add sugar. Now, because I don't really do a lot of sugar. I usually do like honey or agave, or I have like packets of sugar. It's a long story how I got these. I was working a Natasha Bedingfield gig, and like, so I had to like kind of be the PA and run and get stuff. I would skip the sugar, but I've never followed this recipe before, so I trust it. And it's only asking for a little bit. It says, oh, it's 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar. Okay, that is a lot of sugar. But I'm gonna, because I've never made it before, I'm gonna do it without it. I don't really need it. Well, I'm gonna add it. I have this rule. When I make a new recipe for the first time, because I've never followed this one, I always follow the directions, and then I modify later if I don't like the way it came out. But this apparently has like 5 stars, and it has like 150 reviews, so I trust the sugar is probably the right decision. I trust it. So, yeah. So how's your Monday going so far? Going good? Mine is going pretty okay. I have a lot of stuff to do after this. I have a couple phone calls to make, and I'm gearing up to making a plan for my music release. So I'm excited for you guys to hear that once that's all done. You're monitoring all the chats? Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. You're doing pretty good? You're going great? That's awesome. Yeah, so I'm working on making a plan for my releases, shooting video, all that kind of thing. I'm really excited for you guys to hear the music. My manager is right now working on we're working on a plan together, so I'm excited. You're doing really good. That's awesome. It rained here. You know, it actually rained here too. It's been raining a good portion of the day in California, and I'm okay with it because we don't really get enough rain a lot of the time in Cali. So I'll take it as when I can get it. Hi Leslie, we're making biscuits. Gluten-free biscuits. Yes, it does rain in LA. It actually has been raining a healthy amount this year, so I'm grateful for it. You're welcome. Thanks for joining on both the platforms. Yes, it is. It's actually really great when it rains in LA. The only downside is it floods for about like however long it's been raining. So I'm gonna be using this lemon in just a moment, but I'm gonna move it in this cup for a second because I want to dust this off. I'm becoming smarter about how I keep it from being too messy. You finished learning solos? That's awesome. I'm not very good at guitar solos. It's something that I do and don't want to get better at because I think it might take away from my vocal lines, but would be cool to say I could do it, if you know what I mean. It does. Okay, so it floods in LA. It's crazy. So I'm in North Hollywood, for instance. The first year that I lived here, I was walking to CVS. It was like down the street. I was like, I'm just gonna walk to CVS, and my roommate at the time looks at me like, you're gonna walk in the rain. And I'm like, yeah, like I'm from the East Coast. It rains all the time. She's like, no, girl, it's different out here. And I'm like, I don't get it, but okay. So I get outside. I didn't have rain boots or anything, I don't think. And the water was literally at the top of my shins. So here's how it works. It depending on how the street is built in LA, the plumbing is not the greatest for when water happens. Oh, thank you so much. Yes. Yeah, so I'm just gonna mix up these dry ingredients right here. Feels really funny to add sugar. So basically it says, so you're gonna add all the dry ingredients together. So you whisk them or stir to combine, which is what I'm doing. It talks about how she prefers, she's apparently a favorite. The cook who invented this likes, she favors Pillsbury gluten-free flour. We don't have that, so we're doing this instead. Okay. So now I'm supposed to cut the butter, whatever that means. So these are going to be dairy free because I can't digest dairy. So I like using Miyoko's, can't pronounce it, Miyoko's butter. It's made from cashews and it actually tastes pretty close to the real thing. So I like that one. It says, hope you guys are enjoying the classical music, by the way. Oh yeah, exactly. It was flooded. So when you were, that's right, Trevor. When you were here in LA. So the way that it works, sorry, my mind just like went off for a second. I'm gonna turn this down. So I was walking to CVS and I noticed Lancashire is the street that so Lancashire and Vineland cross in North Hollywood like this at one point. And so I was walking to the CVS and Lancashire was totally flooded. It was like up to my knee. But Vineland was not flooded at all. It was like normal. So it was just, that's literally LA in a nutshell. It's like partly flooded, partly not when it rains. Okay, so it says a cup of buttermilk. We don't have buttermilk, but it told me how to make it. So basically, if you don't have buttermilk and you can't have dairy, I'll show you how to make it. Cash butter, I like it. It's like money, right? Awesome, thank you. Okay, so to make your own, it's 1 tablespoon of white vinegar. I don't really dig vinegar in my biscuits, so we're gonna do lemon juice. and it says to a cup of milk. So it's 1 tablespoon to a cup of milk. And it only asks for a cup of buttermilk, so that's how we're gonna make it. So I got my almond milk right here. We got all the nut milks. The LA River is, I know, it's crazy. The LA River isn't really a river. It's just like drainage, which is kind of gross, but kind of urban. It has its own flavor, right? Okay, so we're gonna do 1 cup. The best way, now when you're measuring liquids, the best way to do it is you want to bend down after you weigh it. So, and of course, if it's non-dairy milk, you wanna shake it. So when it looks like it's about at the line, you bend down. I learned this in science class. The one thing I was good at in science was learning how to measure. Hi, thanks for joining. We're making biscuits. Hello. Hi, Mark. So basically, yeah, it's basically, yeah, sour milk biscuits. Yeah, exactly. So that's basically the buttermilk. So the way you measure is you want to like, so when it looks like it's about at the line, you bend down and look at the eye level. And then if it's at the line from there, that's how you know it's absolutely at the line. That was the one thing I was good at in science. I was not really good at anything else. But, you know. So, 1 tablespoon of white vinegar and lemon juice. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm actually going to rinse this. Because I had salt in it. Salt, sugar, and baking powder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze this lemon until it's 1 tablespoon. Hopefully I have enough. If not, I have another lemon in the fridge. This is like the good old natural one. I'm not bringing the lemon juice out of the bottle. I'm literally squeezing it in front of your eyes. Hello, thanks for joining. Yeah, I should unfilter the word ew. It's because someone said ew, you sound bad singing, so I filtered it. Because I was like, what are we, 5? So, so now when anyone says few or anything with EW, it filters it. It's really funny. Okay, so this is almost at the tablespoon. I'm like squeezing it as much as I can. I'm not a master chef, but thank you. I'm trying my best. I would say I'm pretending to be a master chef without saying the word bam. You know how Emerald does it? Bam! I don't even know what he bams, to be honest. Okay, so there's also seeds in here. My hands are clean, so I'm gonna pick out the little seeds because I don't really want any lemon rinds. I've actually been into a lemon rind once after cooking, and man, was I definitely unhappy about it. They're really bitter. I'm actually using a lemon. So we're making our own sour milk, which is also known as like a buttermilk, because I can't eat dairy. So we're doing a non-dairy version. So that's about it. The great thing about this is it won't coddle the milk because it's fake milk. So I'm gonna just start up real quick. It says to let stand 5 to 10 minutes in the refrigerator. So while I set a little timer here for 5, we'll do 8 minutes just for kind of halfway in between. When life gives you lemon, you make biscuits. Hey, why not? Biscuits are delicious when you make them correctly. Alrighty, so just gonna clear some things out of the way. I don't have any set wranglers. I do apologize. Okay, so I'm gonna put this paper towel here, rest my spoons here, clean up a little bit over here. I'm gonna wash my hands real quick just so my hands aren't sour while I touch the butter. When it comes to pastries, you have to be really precise, and you can't overhandle the dough. That's like kind of the key with pastries. Any pastries like pie or anything like that. I do sing. I'm not singing today, but if you want to check out my music, I do have a link in the profile bio for Twitch and Periscope, and it's also in the description for YouTube and Facebook if you guys want to check out my music. It's on Spotify and Apple and Amazon. and all of that stuff. But I'm going to be coming out with some new music soon as well, so that's why we're not singing right now. But I am going to be doing a little concert on Friday, so I'm going to share those details with you on my social media. We're doing a little Zoom concert, so if you go to my Instagram at SarahLightman or my Facebook artist page, facebook.com/SarahLightmanSings, or Twitter, I'll also share it there at SarahLightman. I'll share with you that Zoom link so you guys can come on Friday. Just a little Zoom concert. Just doing 2 of those, 2 little concerts. But I'm not doing too much because we're finishing up the new songs right now in the studio. And I need to focus on that. But thank you, Taylor. Sorry, Taylor fan, Trevor. I don't know why I called you Taylor. That was bad. Thank you, Trevor. Thanks so much for sharing all that. For Instagram, that's in the profile bio. Okay, so 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Salted, unsalted, it doesn't really matter all that much. Because it's not like you're adding a pound of salt to it. So I'm gonna pull out the butter. And it says 6 tablespoons of butter. Okay. It says to cut the butter into small pieces and put it in the freezer for 10 minutes. I don't really know why I have to do that, but I'm just gonna do it anyway. So what I'm gonna do is, I have this egg for a different part of the, I was gonna make them vegan for you guys, for all the vegan people, but I don't have the right vegan egg replacement. So it's tablespoons, so we'll do the same thing. So that's 1 tablespoon. Put it in the bowl. It says little pieces. I don't even know what that exactly means, but because they're already small enough. Everyone does what? Call you Taylor? That's cool. Thanks for joining. We're making gluten-free biscuits. Okay, so we're on our 3rd one. I have to keep count, or they're gonna be really greasy. Okay, 3, and then I'm putting them in different little, I guess I'm chopping them up in little pieces, whatever that means. 3, 4, this feels so silly. We're almost there. 5. Again, it's kind of like clay. You just need to like fit it in there. And then once it's measured out, scoop it into a bowl where you can let it freeze in the freezer. 5. I know you can't taste the final, but I can send you the recipe and then you can make it at home. And I can also let you know how they taste as well once we get there. Alrighty, so that's 6. We got 6. Oh really? That's really funny. They still call you Taylor. It's because of your username. I know it's about Taylor Swift, but it's cool. At least it's not too far off. Play-Doh is not edible? I'm not surprised. Thank you for telling me, though. So we're going to throw this in the fridge. And then it says small pieces. Okay, we put the butter, the fake butter. Next time you come to LA, you want me to make you biscuits. I will do my best. If I'm not, as long as I'm not playing like a crazy amount of shows, sure, I'll make biscuits. Why not? Okay, so we're letting that sit in the freezer for a little bit. It says 5 to 10 minutes, and then so to let the milk stand for 5 to 10 minutes, so it's almost been 10 minutes. I'm just gonna add a couple more minutes on there. The tattoo, this tattoo I designed with an artist in Hawaii. I kept having this image. Hi, thanks for joining. We're doing biscuits. We're making biscuits. This was designed by an artist. There was a tattoo artist that I met with in Hawaii, and when I was going to Hawaii, we were making jokes about like getting a lei on you, because it's just a funny word. It's a flower necklace. So anyway, I kept thinking about flowers, and I kept having this like lucid dream recently about sorry, I'm just wiping this down, about just performing on a stage, feeling nervous, looking down at my arm, and seeing something to remind me of my purpose. So that's essentially what this is. It's just reminding me that, like, you know, I belong in the artist circuit, in the artist world, and that I will continue to survive and be successful, and that I'm meant to be here as an artist. So it's just reminding me of my purpose in the world. So that's what we designed. It's a camellia flower, which is like about longevity and faithfulness and passion. And then there's like Polynesian writing lines on the vine for the vines, and they all have like special symbolic things the artist put in there, and they're apparently things that'll protect me on my journey. So I'm not like a crazy religious person, but I really like it. All sounds good, so you know. Okay, so after we let that sit, we're gonna cut in the butter, which essentially means I'm going to use a knife. Put this fork here. Literally, we're going to use the knife, and we're just going to like pretend we're cutting dough. So the way that it'll happen is it'll, because you won't be able to see it, otherwise it'll spill over the computer. When we put the butter in, and when we cut it, it's literally going to cut into the flour, and it's going to be kind of like, how do I put it? Like, it's going to make these little tiny balls of batter almost, but without liquid. So it'll be like just like a grainier flour mixture. What's so beautiful? Oh, Play-Doh or Trevor, I'm not sure what's so beautiful, but thank you. But beautiful is good in my book. So we're going to put this away because we don't need this right now. And I will say I put a little bit less lemon because I don't know if I'm going to like it. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll cut it in, and then until it looks like small peas. Like basically it looks like your flour are small white peas, which is what I was saying. And then after that, we're going to add in, there's going to be egg. Okay, so we're going to add in buttermilk, and then 1 egg. But I'll crack that egg in a second. Oh, my tattoo. Oh, thank you. I'm so sorry. There's just so many things to focus on right now. Thank you for the compliment. I actually have another tattoo if you guys want to see. So this one is, this is a bird. That was my first tattoo I ever got. I only have 2. But my family flipped out when they saw it, of course, because we're Jewish. You know, that's how we do. So the bird is, let me show you. The bird is this bird, which is on my dad's album. So I kept wanting to celebrate my dad's life in a way. So for what would have been his birthday a couple years ago, I think almost 3 years ago now, I wanted to like get something to like remember him by, and so this is kind of like he's watching over my shoulder kind of thing. So that is that. It's almost ready for me to pull out the milk. But unfortunately we have to pull out the butter first. So, yeah, so it says to put in the butter, and then we have to chop it up, and then add the buttermilk and the whisked egg until a soft dough forms. She says, I whisk the egg right in the buttermilk. Oh, so she says the key is, like I was saying, to not over mix. You don't want to over mix it. You just want it so it's whole enough, because then it'll be a tough, less flaky pastry. And I'll show you like what it looks like when it's supposed to be. Yeah. Yes, that's right. The bird is visible on a picture of me on Spotify. Okay, so that's done. So what I'm gonna do while I'm waiting on the butter right now is I'm gonna grab a bowl, and this egg that's been patiently waiting for me. Yeah, totally. I wouldn't just like put myself through that kind of pain or amount of money or a tattoo just because I felt like getting a tattoo. Not judging against anyone who does do that, but thank you. Yeah, I do continuously clean as my mom always taught me to clean up as you go when you're cooking because it makes it less chaotic. Yeah, if people want to get whatever tattoo they want, that's great, but I just think if you're going to put yourself through that journey, to make sure it's a mindful one. Yeah, so, okay. Next, I'm going to use this fork that I put aside in case we needed it, which we do. So she says she whisks the egg with the liquid, which is smart, so she doesn't overhandle the pastry. So I'm going to do that right now with the milk. Obviously, when you're whisking, don't get too excited because it'll go literally everywhere. So just like slowly mix it until it's all like one yellow mix. Yeah, so yeah, that's me and tattoos in a nutshell. My boyfriend has like several, but he puts meaning in all of them as well. How old am I? Oh man, we always go through this question. So usually I don't share my age because I feel like people judge you as soon as they hear your age. They're like, oh, I thought you were this, I thought you were that. So we're gonna go with, first we're gonna go with how old do you think I am, and then I'll tell you my real age. This fork is done. Yeah, how old do you think I am is the question, and then I'll tell you. Alrighty, so yeah, is that a bird, Jason? I mean, it's cute. So these are our, I guess, cut up pieces. Oh, a hatched egg. Oh, really? I thought that was just like a little chick. You guys are funny. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and, well, scoop out the butter because it's like frozen to the bowl now. Okay. Did the egg come before the chicken or the chicken before the egg? Honestly, I think it's a little hard to say. I think the chicken came before the egg. I think something came before the chicken, and that created the chicken, and then the chicken created the egg. According to science and Darwinism, that's like seems to be a thing. 28. That's actually really close. So I'm actually 30, but everyone thinks I'm like early 20s. Early 20s, late teens. It works. I have the young gene. I thank my grandparents for that one. So now I'm cutting with the knife. So I'm going to do this for like a couple seconds until it really breaks down. It feels really silly doing this, guys. The point is you're supposed to cut the fat into the pastry. So order a chicken and an egg on Amazon and see which arrives first. Oh man, Trevor, that's hilarious. So I dig that. I dig that a lot. Okay. So we're cutting. This is obviously the boring part of it. Well, I will say while I'm cutting it, what you want to do is, ooh, that's really, really hot. We're going to pull that down. Should not have put that there. Let's put this in the first. So basically you want to get something like a pastry cutter that can, definitely 20s, early 20s forever. Woo! I agree. Early 20s was an interesting time for me. It's definitely a learning time. But it was important, you know. I'm thankful that it happened, even though it was crazy. So usually that's my little pastry cutter. It's not really a pastry cutter. It's literally, it's a mixing cup for making like drinks. But I got it when I was serving at a restaurant as like just like random things they were getting rid of. But anyway, so what you want to do is you want to get something that can cut your pastries, so that way the shape of it is biscuit-like. That's what gives it that like cut rigid thing, is you have to cut it. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Someone said hola on Periscope. Welcome guys. We're making biscuits. So literally just cutting into the butter until this takes a couple minutes for sure. You really want to make sure that it's like, you see how it's like lumpy right now? You want to make sure it's kind of a homogeneous lumpy mixture where there's all lumps, no powder, essentially. Hey Phil, thanks for joining. Hey, we're making gluten-free biscuits. Thanks for joining. By the way, if you guys don't follow me on TikTok, I started advocating for mental health on my profile. So I just, I share daily tips and advice and motivation on just, how to have the best day possible, either when you're feeling low and how just getting through it and being reminded that you're not alone, or just, just to have a maintenance thing going on, just to keep up it's definitely a maintenance thing to nourish your mind and fill it with positive and healthy thoughts and hone your mind skills, because it's natural for the mind to go to a dark place. And so having these tools helps you when you are in a dark place. So I'm literally cutting with a knife the pastry dough until we have all small peas, is what they called it. I haven't made biscuits since high school, so it's been a long time. But yeah, have you guys ever made biscuits before? It's nice to have you here. Thanks for joining, Phil. Yeah, so here I am, literally cutting biscuits. They are starting to get smaller, so just a little bit longer, and then I'm going to put in the other mixture. You've made them before, Jason? That's awesome. Were they like regular biscuits, or were they like special biscuits? These are buttermilk biscuits, or fake buttermilk, because we're not really using buttermilk. Hi, thanks for joining. We're making gluten-free biscuits. I know, guys, I'm not singing right now, but if you guys want to check out my music later, you can find it on Spotify and Apple and YouTube. I'm going to be releasing some new videos soon for you guys on YouTube as well, so don't you worry, all you YouTubers. I'm going to be uploading a couple more backyard sessions to complete the interlude album, and then I'm going to be releasing new music soon, so I can't wait for you guys to hear it. It's a day-to-day battle. That's good. That's true. It is a day-to-day battle, but it does get easier with the right tools. That is true. As long as you do the work, results shall come. Good or bad results, results are better than no results. That's what I've learned about it, at least. So this one for today, for TikTok, I'm going to post one on, has anybody ever had like a really hard time getting out of bed? Or just like, for whatever reason, you just can't bring yourself to get out of bed, and you're just not really feeling good about it, you're kind of dreading the day. Today's post is kind of going to be about that on TikTok, so look out for it for sure. It's just my name, SarahLightman, to take you there. We're almost there, guys. It's definitely a tedious process, but we're almost there with the cutting. I like doing the TikToks though because they also remind me to take care of my mind as well. So it helps. I'm hoping it helps you, but it helps me too. So yeah. You felt like that way this morning and hit snooze 4 times? Yep, I've been there. But sometimes, or more often than that, you'll have a more productive or healthier day the less that you snooze on a regular basis, I would say. It's okay every once in a while to let it happen, but when it becomes like you're kind of stuck in a little bit of a rut, it definitely can put a damper on your mental health. Snooze is alright. Thank you for the love. Alrighty, we are almost there, cutting the pastry into small little peas is what they're calling it. Basically, it looks like your flour is like peas. This is such serious classical music. Oh, how am I? Thanks for asking. I'm good. How are you doing? So you don't want them to be like little crumbs. You want it to be like, I'll show you in a second because we're almost there. You just want it to be like little peas. Feels really silly to say that. I don't know why. Okay, I think we're just about there. I wish I did have enough for the whole class. It's only going to make about 10 of them. How many of you are there? Does anyone want to do a hand count? I'm just kidding. We can't raise our hands and count each other. But you know what I can do is if you message me on social media, I will, and you want the recipe, I can send it to you. It's a recipe I found online. Okay, so this is about ready. If you look at the mixture now, it's a little bit more homogeneous. Part is the most exciting part. I'm making gluten-free biscuits. Thanks for asking. We're making gluten-free biscuits. If you want the recipe, I can send you it after the fact. This is nice and cold now. I put it right next to the oven and it was like on fire. But yeah. No worries, Marsha. I'm making gluten-free biscuits. Gluten-free, dairy-free buttermilk biscuits. Alright, this is my glass of water. I'm going to put it over here so it's not on fire. We have mixed everything together. If you want the recipe, or if you're watching and you want the recipe, like I said, just message me on social media after the fact. Okay, so we cut the butter into the flour. And then we're going to add the buttermilk and the whisked egg. Which I just did that in a bowl. She said the dough will be sticky. Okay, so I'm gonna move some stuff around. It's gonna be sticky. Put that here. I don't know why these are out. Get some stuff out of the way. And then I think I'm also gonna need something flat. Well, we got this. I guess this is good enough. Okay. So you just add it, I guess, until the dough forms. Okay. Okay, I added it. If we fail, it'll just be fun, right? Okay, I'm gonna grab another fork. I have this weird thing about like keeping things separate to make sure it's as exact as possible. So it says that it will be sticky, but you don't want to over mix it. So we're gonna mix it until it's just combined, as they say. We're almost there now. This looks like glop. I don't even know if that's a word. It's just, that's what I think of. Okay. I think that's just combined right here. Basically, you just want to make sure all the flour is combined into it. but I guess she said sticky mixture. This is sticky. This looks sticky, right? Okay. Okay, add 1 tablespoon of flour to a large piece of parchment paper. Sorry for the noise. So I have wax paper. Is that parchment paper? Is that the same? I'm not a pro. Okay, so I'm gonna take out some wax paper. Put a little extra down for my computer's benefit as well. Now for Instagram, in 15 minutes, I'm gonna have to restart the video, so I will be doing so you can keep following along. I might lose a couple of you, so make sure if you're not already following me and look out for that new alert. Because Instagram only lets you record at most of an hour. It's close. Thanks. So at least I'm not completely off. Hi, thanks for joining. So in about 15 minutes Instagram, I'm going to have to reset the video because it'll hit an hour and it'll literally cut you off otherwise. But so in about 15 minutes, I'm going to reset the live video. But for you guys on Twitch and Periscope and Facebook and YouTube, you guys will not have a restart. Okay, so take out the flour. It says 1 tablespoon of flour to a large piece of the paper. Let's get about a bunch of flour. I always feel like in this case less is not more. So you want to dust this because it prevents it from sticking in theory. I just literally like to do this. I don't even really measure it out because you don't want to put way too much flour, but you want to make sure it's going to come together. I'm making gluten-free biscuits. If you want the recipe after, you can totally just hit me up, just DM me and I'll send it to you. They should allow, I agree that, to go live on IGTV. You can actually share your video on Instagram now to IGTV after you're done. I think if it's an hour or less. Okay, so let's do it. You have an idea? Start saving these? I could. That's true. I could do that. I mean, it would be a very long story, but we could try. Okay, so I'm gonna clean this off. Put that in the sink. Okay, get the spatula out. I feel like I need a spatula for this. Scrape down the sides, you know, all that good stuff. Says it's gonna be sticky. It's definitely sticky. Okay, so place dough on the floured parchment paper. Dust top of dough with 1 flour. Okay, so we're gonna take this out of the bowl. This little blob, and this looks great, guys. It's very sticky. So I guess with gluten-free flour, moisture is very important, but you also obviously don't want too much moisture, so I guess she's essentially telling me to adjust the moisture. But I don't know, I haven't made the other kind in a while, so I'm going to add a little bit, just to add a little bit on top. So it's probably more than a little bit, oh well. Yeah. And now it says to use my hands to form it. This literally feels ridiculous right now. It's just like sticking. But I guess it's supposed to eventually come together. This feels ridiculous, to be honest. I don't even know if this is working. But we're just gonna trust the recipe and do what it says. until it does actually form. Not this. Oh, well, we already added honey. Sorry, not honey. We added butter already. We don't add oil because it will actually add to the moisture of it. We actually need it to be drier. So I guess eventually it'll come together to a better dough. So it says you can use a glass or a lid of a mason jar. We kind of found the in-between on my side. Oh, I see, yeah. No, I see what you're saying. It's actually the opposite. I know where you get that from. Like, I know when I make pupusas, it's like that, but, which we can make another day. I can show you guys how to make that. That's really easy, pupusas. No, this is like the opposite for whatever reason. To not do that. I don't know, this is like so wet. Oh my god. Okay, we can do this, guys. We can do this. This is like the wettest dough I've like ever seen. Hi guys, I wish I could wave to you, but I can't because I look like this right now. It says to fold it over on itself 2 times. Okay, well, I mean, I've been barely able to fold it over on itself 1 time. And I just tore the paper. This is hilarious. Okay. It's possible that I could have added too much milk to the mixture somehow. Ave Maria is now playing on Alexa. Thanks, Alexa. She's so stop. You keep playing the music. She's like, what? Okay, have a good night. Sweet dreams. Playing musical chairs on social media. I dig it. Thank you. Thank you for joining. For Instagram, I'm gonna have to restart the video in just a moment. And parchment paper is definitely not wax paper, in case you're wondering, because I just tore it. Okay, I'm gonna rinse my hands real quick. Yeah. When I say less is definitely not more in this situation, it's not more. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and lift that up. They should have told me to do 2 layers of that. I remember even when I was making non-gluten-free biscuits that it was, I remember adding way more flour than they said. So, thank you. I will enjoy my biscuits. They're actually not cookie biscuits, they're savory biscuits, but, you know. So guys on Instagram, I'm gonna restart real quick. So I'll see you in a second because you're gonna get cut off otherwise. Be right back. Okay. Okay, I'll share to IGTV like you told me to do. Or I'll just download the video and send it later. It's taking too long. By the way, I got flour on my computer, so 10 points to me. Okay. I downloaded it. You guys cool now? Download, saved. Awesome. Okay, now are you gonna let me... Instagram with the new IGTV thing is still a little bit confusing on my end. So what I'm gonna do is we're just going to exit out of Instagram and then we'll just go back. Apologies for the delay, guys, and my head being cut off. go live again. I got it from Google. I just Googled gluten-free. Hi Instagram again. We are making gluten-free biscuits. This is part 2. We are almost done baking. Yeah, so I got it off Google, the recipe. If you want the recipe, if you think it's worth it after this, I will send it to you. It says fold twice, but I've barely been able to even fold it just one time. So, yeah. Hi guys. I can't wave to you because my hands are sticky, but thanks for rejoining. It means a lot. We are still making biscuits. They are taking time. So just the top of flour and fold 2 times. With your hands, form a dough round that's about 7 inches in diameter, 1 inch thick. Well, I would if I could. It's still goopy. Yeah. So it has 5 stars. So we're giving it the benefit of the doubt, even though it's making a mess of my kitchen right now. Okay. This feels ridiculous, by the way. This is not how I remember making biscuits. But you know what? We're just trying new things. So even if it goes bad, at least we're doing it together, right? Okay. You can mess with this bag with my gross hands. Put that there. Okay, now we're kind of folding. So we're getting there. We're getting there, guys. I'm a little disappointed because I was going to show you guys what flaky pastry looks like, but we aren't quite there in terms of this crazy dough, which is basically almost mush. And when you said sticky, I think they underestimated that. No problem. Have a good day. Alright, guys. This is hilariously bad. But I hope you're having fun. Or give me a thumbs up if you're having fun watching me fall on my face during this recipe. Because I'm having fun still. Yeah, it's stickier than... They said it was going to be sticky, but I didn't realize it was going to be this sticky. But at least we're having a good laugh, right? Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more. We'll just dump out the whole bag, right? It's like the wettest dough in the world. Thanks, that's really sweet. How's it going? It's questionable, but we're having fun, so that's all that matters. The dough is a hot mess, but it's starting to come together a little bit better. It's just way stickier than they said it was going to be. Maybe I should have used Pillsbury Doughboy. It was like really biased against it. It said, I like Pillsbury, that's what it said. But it's the same exact flour, it's just a different brand. It's just a rice flour with xanthan gum and other stuff. The way my mom actually makes pastries is she uses a pillowcase, which is basically like parchment paper. So maybe that would have been better. Less absorbent. I guess I could go get one. Yes, I have been adding the gluten-free flour. I just add a little bit as it goes because you don't want to add too much. I feel like I can't add too much in this situation, but you know what? I might actually go ahead and get a pillowcase since I don't have parchment paper. I'll be right back. Alright, we are switching to a pillowcase because it's less absorbent than wax paper. Hi, thanks for joining. Oh, I got dough right on my Instagram. Well, thank you guys for joining. We are almost done making, almost done, I say that in quotations, making the biscuits, or attempting to make this recipe. So the difference between parchment paper and wax paper is, I guess parchment paper is definitely more of a cloth. And so it's less absorbent. So that's probably why it would have worked better on parchment. But we're doing what we can, right? Okay. This should hopefully do the trick. So, I have a ton of, oh yeah, this is way better, by the way. I have a ton of flour going on right here. The way to, now I can show you what good pastry looks like, because it's coming together finally. The way to make sure that you have, so we're folding twice, finally, like it told us to. The way to make sure that you aren't over handling it is you'll start to see like little lines. It's a little hard to show you, but you see you might see it, but there's like little lines showing that there's flakiness in the pastry dough. So that's the way that I was taught how to make sure and check your dough. I'm gonna hold it one more time for good measure, and then we're gonna start cutting out the little biscuits. Now that I actually have something to work with. Excuse me, I breathed in a bunch of flour. Alrighty, so that's all set. It says not to roll it out because again, you don't want to over handle it. Yeah, this is gonna be good. Hopefully. It says to make sure they're like about an inch thick, maybe a little less than that. Yeah, it says 1 inch thick. Okay. Alright, apparently there's a Facebook Live going on. I share a calendar, so just went off. Okay, so this is about it's about an inch, maybe a little less. So what we want to do is we want to it probably is Bach. I just asked the A name, E-L-E-X-A, because she'll stop playing it. I asked her if she could play classical music, since I figured that would be the easiest with YouTube not pulling my video down today. So you want to get something that'll cut like a circle like this, or a glass, or a mason jar. So I chose a cocktail mixer, and so this totally just fell apart. Do it one more time. Now that the moisture is not as bad. Okay, so you just want to cut it so it's really stretchy. So you cut it, and then you put this on the baking tray, and then you just kind of keep going until you get all of it. These are really fragile, so I'm gonna have to be really careful as I place them. And like I said, you don't want to handle your pastry too much, or they will come out not as flaky pastries. They'll be quite tough. So, we also learned if you don't have parchment paper, you'd use a pillowcase, because wax paper doesn't quite do the job. We learned that the hard way today. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna keep cutting them. If you have trouble getting the shape out, if you twist it a little bit, oh good, I'm glad you're relaxed. Anything positive is good in my book. Twisting it, yeah, the music definitely has that effect. Twisting it can help get the shape out. These are definitely a little bit bigger or wider than I guess a normal pastry would be. But so yeah, you cut and twist. It's like, reminds me of Legally Blonde. Ben and Snap. Okay. Hi Andrew, thanks for joining. I'm making gluten-free biscuits. If you guys want the recipe, like I keep telling you, just DM me after on social media and I'll send you the link if you want to make it. Pretty standard recipe. It says it makes about 10 of them. I always feel like I always make less than they say I'm gonna make. I guess I make everything a little bit bigger. Gluten-free biscuits are definitely, it's more of a delicate flour. So you have to be super mindful about how you do this, even more than the regular flour. Alrighty, I'm getting better at this, guys. I hope they're not too tough since I handled it so much beforehand, but I guess we'll have to see when the final results come out. But now I know better for next time, right? Okay, we're almost at the end of cutting. Pastry cutting. Yeah, you can even use like, so how they make the Christmas cookies is, if you use just a cookie cutter, that can also make your, biscuits as well. If you prefer that instead. Alright, we're running out of room on the pastry. And it says put the biscuits on a greased large cast iron pan or baking sheet. I don't have that. So what I'm going to do is after I jump off the scope with you, since I can't cut this one, I'm just gonna form my own. I'm gonna grease it on my own time because my computer has flour all over it. Alright, so I'm gonna show you guys what they look like. So these are pre-baked. Hey guys, these are pre-baked right now. I use the pillowcase in case you're wondering. I'm just gonna put that in the sink and rinse my hands real quick. So, I'm gonna post a picture in my story or a video in my story of how they taste and how they look. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up and bake everything. But thank you guys so much for joining me today. If you want the recipe for the biscuits, I could send it to you. Like I said, just DM me on social media. And in about 15-20 minutes, it says they'll be almost ready. So I'll update it as soon as they're done. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful day, and thanks for cooking with me. See you later.